divide and simplify. When we divide, we change to multiplication and take the reciprocal of the second part of the problem. Some people refer it as same, change, flip. In other words, invert. So let's just rewrite this before we start factoring and put it in the format that we need. So the division changes to multiplication, and then we're going to put the numerator where the denominator is, and vice versa. Okay, so now we want to look at the x squared minus 5x plus 4 and factor that. This one is easy factoring because we don't have a coefficient in front of the x. So we know we're going to start out with x and x. Now what this states is, if this is the multiplication side, and the only way I can multiply and get a positive is I have two negatives or two positives. Okay, and I look here on the addition side, and that means that we're going to have two negatives. So I have a negative here and a negative here, and we'll have 4 and 1. And we can check this, negative 4x and a negative 1x give me a negative 5x. So that's good. Now let's look at the denominator. There's another rule called a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So if I can change this to 2x, this would be squared, and this would be 3 squared. So in other words, this would be 2x plus 3 and 2x, if we follow that rule, minus 3. At the top, we have our x minus 4 and x minus 1. Now let's go over to the right and fill in. We're going to cross cancel on this to simplify. So notice I have, just change colors here. I have an x minus 4 and an x minus 4, 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. So our final answer is x minus 1 over 2x plus 3. Let's look at another example where we're dividing. X squared minus 16, and you can read it for yourself. But we're going to go through the same process and change division to multiplication and take the reciprocal. After that, we'll be ready to simplify by factoring. Again, you could call it same, change, flip. The first part of the problem stays the same. The division changed to multiplication. And you got to flip or invert the second part. So if using the a squared, let's go over to the side. X squared minus 16, I can rewrite that as x squared minus 4 squared. So that would be x plus 4, and x minus 4. Okay. So we're going to call this x plus 4 and x minus 4. I'm going to do the same thing for the denominator. Denominator is 16x squared minus 9. I'm going to put it in the format of a squared minus b squared. So that'd be 4x squared minus 3 squared. So that's 4x plus 3 and 4x minus 3. Okay, we don't need to simplify the 4x plus 3, but we do need to factor the denominator, and we're going to do that the same way we did the previous problem. We have x. Actually, this is the same as the other one, so we'll put minus 4 and minus 1. Now we can cancel. If I have 1 in the denominator and the same thing in the numerator, I can cancel that. These are cancel. Let's see if we can find anything else. So the final answer here would be x plus 4 in the numerator, 4x minus 3 times x minus 1 in the denominator.